Alright, hey everyone. It's Rose Emoji and Karnage Cards ENT from PlayingPioneer.com. We are here with another edition of Lead the Way, the video series where I take a deck through a league that I've never played before, and Karnage kind of guides me through it. He leads the way. This deck, not only have I never played before, I've never played against it. I've never watched a video on it. I have no idea what I'm looking at. So this is a very lead the way episode. I'm seeing 20 green lands and one overgrown tomb. I'm seeing Nykthos and a lot of green pips. And I see Karn. And I see a lot of artifacts in the Karn wishboard, and this one black pestilent cauldron. So
yeah, so
let's talk about this. First of all, how you doing, Karnage?
I'm doing great. Excited to be back. I think it's been a little bit. Excited to get another stream in. Looking forward to the new set, which what that means a whole new format. So very, very exciting times. Also, yeah. Explorer.
Also an entirely new format.
Yeah, an entirely new format, which I think we'll talk about a little bit more as we go through today. But let's focus on the deck.
Yeah. Is this deck anywhere near an Explorer deck? We're missing, 4 elves, 4 Nykthos. Yeah, we can't do it. We
can't do that. Honestly, just Nykthos, and this deck doesn't even exist. This deck is unplayable without Nykthos.
Okay.
So I think that's pretty much what can be said about most mono green lists. I think that's something you're going to lack in the Explorer format. Nykthos is kind of how those decks go big and do good things. If not, they're just kind of just a creature deck that you'd rather be either Winota at this point or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But here in Pioneer, we do have Nykthos, and we have this deck. Some people call it mono green Karn. Some people call it mono green Storm. Some people call it mono green Canister. I think he's the one who put this together. We can start kind of with some of your questions. The Overgrown Tomb is there, especially for the Pestilent Cauldron. So this is kind of your stock mono green list that has kind of been around in Pioneer for a long period of time. Like you said, you're looking for a bunch of color pips. You're looking to play the 8 elves, and you're trying to play big things. But it has this very weird infinite combo that's built into it that just kind of wins the game, which I think is what has kind of jumped this archetype back up into the tops of the format, and maybe actually at the top of the format. I guess we'll see a little bit after this weekend, but it's been brief, so it's not crazy that you haven't played against it, especially if you've been focused a little bit too much on Explorer. It's a relatively new deck with a pretty complicated but pretty straightforward combo. MTGO definitely makes it harder because it's a lot of clicking and making sure you don't make a little bit of a mistake. I'll try and just simplify a little bit of the combo. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a Kiora and a Karn in the graveyard, or have the multiples in your hand, and you're trying to have enough mana to be able to cast either a Karn and the backside of Pestilent Cauldron, or a Kiora and the backside of it, or all 3 of them if you possibly have that much mana. So essentially, the backside of Pestilent Cauldron, which is Restorative Burst, allows you to return up to 2 creatures, land and or Planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. So what that does is if you have a Kiora and you have a Karn in the graveyard, and you also have the mana to be able to return those back to your hand and play them, you can kind of loop with Nykthos infinitely. So you're able to kind of play them, put 2 more into the graveyard. The ones that are on the battlefield, they drop into the graveyard. You bring those 2 back, you play them, you legend rule the 2 old ones into the graveyard, and you just kind of keep looping. The important part is that Restorative Burst gains 4 life every time you cast it, and it exiles itself. So the fact that it exiles itself means that when you replay your Karn, you can go get it again, because Karn isn't really, most of us think of it as it allows you to go to your sideboard. What it actually lets you do is get something that's outside of the game. So you can go out and grab the Pestilent Cauldron again, and then kind of keep that loop going. And once you've gained enough life equal to the opponent's library, so, looking generally for about 40 to 50 life, you can cast Pestilent Cauldron on the front side, and then mill your opponent for how much life you've equaled this turn, and you just build them out. So that's what you're looking for the Overgrown Tomb for. It's also why you play 2 Sylvan Caryatids. You need to be able to make black mana at least 1 time. So you cast the Cauldron after you gained all that life, tap 1, tap it, mill your opponent, and that's the game.
I'm not gonna lie, this sounds miserable.
That's it. It's definitely a miserable combo to play, especially on MTGO, which is just a bunch of clicking, making sure you're clicking on the right things when you're clicking on them, making sure you haven't made that land drop that you really needed to make. So it is a little bit complicated. It definitely needs you to be a bit more focused, but it's much easier to demonstrate in paper. So definitely, if you're looking to pick this deck up and go to your local game store, once you kind of demonstrate that you would like to continuously do that loop, you don't actually have to, well, maybe you don't have to go through, depending on your opponent, the entire loop all over again. But outside of that, it still just does play as a regular mono green devotion deck. So as you see, it has Cavalier of Thorns, it has Nissas, it has Old Growth Trolls. So it can still do kind of the regular beat down, make a bunch of devotion, and replay a bunch of things. You have Storm the Festival, which helps you kind of like ramp out some of those things and allows you, in case you're missing some of the combo pieces or one of it, to dig a little bit deeper in your deck to try and find that combo piece. It has flashback too, so it's got that kind of double utility against control decks where they can counter the front side, but can they also counter the back side? So I do think that that's what's made this deck a lot better than what it used to be, where it used to kind of fold to those like counter spells and things like that, where now it kind of has this staying power and this built-in infinite combo, so you kind of always have to hold up interaction. So it does make it a little bit more difficult to play against it. Some of the other important aspects of the deck too is when you're looking at the sideboard, the Karn board is important. So you do have a few things in there that don't just necessarily like forward your combo or anything like that. So you have your Tormod's Crypts, you have your Grafdigger's Cages that are built in for those Phoenix decks. And the cages are good against Winota and the Phoenix decks also. Mm-hmm. You have Dampening Spheres, which are good against the Lotus, against the Phoenix decks, things like that. You have your Pithing Needle, which is just, you need to have one if you've got Karn there. That's just your, I gotta answer some sort of problematic permanent. Then you have your Golos, which is more of just a value card. In this deck, it doesn't have like a matchup it's particularly great against, but it does allow you to do a little bit of things. That goes the same for the Sky Sovereign, which are just like these good cards that can help like either stabilize the board or kind of put you a little bit further ahead. Golos has the other utility of also finding your Nykthos. So if you're in a like jam spot where you just really can't find it, it's able to go and find your Nykthos kind of in a slower, rampy kind of way. And then you have probably, in my opinion, the best card, which is God Pharaoh's Statue. That card can just win matchups completely on its own. It taxes the opponent's spells by 2, and it does deal 1 at the end of every end step. Sometimes that's just the right call, is playing Karn, getting that, playing that, and you can kind of lock your opponent out pretty quickly with the devotion style of like ramp. So you can kind of do this on like turn 4 or 5. And most decks just can't come back from that. So you have kind of your regular things, and then you do have 4 sideboard slots that have nothing to do with Karn or a combo. Hunt the Hunter, which is just a removal spell if you're playing a lot of green creatures. And Kenrith's Transformation is just for a lot of really, really problematic creatures that we really can't deal with. But overall, those are just, little sideboard slots for this deck.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about main board, Nissa? Is that just part of the Stompy plan, or does that forward the combo at all?
It like kind of does both. So Nissa is obviously just a good mono green target. I think it'll always be mono green decks probably for the rest of time. But it does ramp you also. So you play, I think it's 13 forests plus the overgrown tomb. So it can every kind of doubling up your mana that way. So sometimes that's good enough too to be able to allow you to combo off. It also does kind of the pseudo Kiora where it can untap Nykthos, so you can create a bunch of mana that way too, as it can make it a creature, it comes untapped, and you can tap it again to make a bunch of mana. But like I said, most of the rest of the stuff in there is pretty much stock, mono green, just good creatures that are a bit ahead on value, but punish you because you have to play so many green sources to play them. So like Old Growth Troll is 3 mana for a 4/4 that has some resiliency, kind of has to die twice. Same thing, Cavalier of Thorns, you need to have 3 green pips to play it, but it's 5 mana for a 5/6 that ramps you. When it dies, it kind of either gets back a problematic permanent, or if you have another Cavalier in the graveyard, they can kind of start chaining each other together. Another little note, it'll probably come up. What it does when it dies is it puts it on top of your library, which is important if you kind of kill your own Planeswalker by legend rule. You can storm the festival and know that you already have a target on top because you put it there. If you kind of like kill off your Cavalier or something in combat.
Mm-hmm. And we really only need 1 overgrown tomb, huh?
Yeah, only 1. Like I said, you do have your 2 Caryatids, which can create black mana, and something that will probably come up, hopefully. The reason that some people are playing Treasure Vault over Darksteel Citadel in their Karn board is because you can sack it to make a treasure token, which can make the black if you're in a pinch. So we do kind of have another black source.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's take this through a league. How's it been doing? You've been seeing it in challenges and leagues lately?
Oh yeah, this deck is kind of, like I said, blown up over, let's say, the last 2 weekends. I couldn't tell you exactly the results from this weekend as we're filming this on Sunday evening, but it's been highly played. It's like I said, a deck that has a lot of resiliency, has an infinite combo, and I think a lot more players gravitate towards this style of, say, infinite combo or like Stormy deck than they do gravitate towards like Phoenix or something like that. Something that's like very, very complicated and much more like blue and red, where a lot of people love green. They love casting big creatures and making a ton of mana. So I think we have seen a lot of people gravitate towards this deck than you normally would with such a new deck on the scene.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's get into it. All right. Let's join match 1.
Here we are. We should get matches a lot quicker than we have since the OP announcement. We went from like 200 active players up to about 800 to 900.
Right.
So that should be a massive positive for us. So this hand is keepable, but I don't think we are going to keep it. Obviously, we could keep it, as we could go like Oath into our second land and Haven. We want to mulligan at least once. You want to try and find the nut draw of elf land. So here we go.
Yeah, all right.
We'll keep this. We'll ship back a forest, and we'll lead on the lair.
I did forget to switch out my forest, so I apologize to all the viewers here for running these basic forests.
I do like that Kaladesh. Oh, is that what they are?
No, they're Kaladesh.
Yeah, Kaladesh. At least they're like cool because they're not the current set.
Right, yeah.
Fatal Push. Okay.
Sometimes that just happens.
All right, you want to play the lair here and the Oath. Hopefully finding another elf would be nice. Something to ramp us. We're going to take Nykthos, even though it doesn't do much in this situation. Very nice to know we aren't drawing 3 straight lands, because we do need some action.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario here. Oh wow, could be an Esper control deck somebody's testing out before the new cards drop.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Uh, Play Nykthos, I guess. And we'll just pass the turn. Not going to fire up the lair as a 1/1 here, as we could get punished with Fatal Push or something like that. So this is kind of where the deck kind of, looks bad, is when Kiora is not terrible. We'll try and play it. I'd play our land first, just in case they have Censor or some sort.
All right, a little bit of technical difficulties, game one. All right, we have lost the die roll.
We've lost the die roll, no. All right. On the draw, we won't keep this. It looks good. Like I said, you kind of want to try and get that like turn 1 elf. There are 8 of them. There we go. We'll put a land back with this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if they do deal with the turn 1 elf, we can still like ramp ourselves to 3 with the Wolfhaven afterwards. So pretty safe. But this is the hand that you're looking. You want to be able to. Oh, Lotus Field. Yeah, Lotus Field. So Lotus Field matchup, the most important card we have is Karn. If we can ramp a Karn out quickly, we can pretty much lock them out of the game.
Right.
Yeah. I do think this matchup is very, very good. Turn 1, Elf. I do think this matchup is good. Knowing that it's Lotus, we can kind of aggressively mulligan a little bit to get to a Karn. If we can play something like a turn 3 Karn, we can pretty much lock the game out from there. What's good about Karn is that it can go and get 2 pieces of interaction and not just 1, as the Lotus Field deck is pretty good at dealing with like 1 Dampening Sphere or something like that. We'll play the Lair here, and we will play the Kiora. Reason being that we're pretty much at this point hoping to draw Karn next turn. We don't need to use the activation.
Oh, it's a minus.
Yeah. So yeah, we're trying to be able to go like next turn Karn and interaction. So we want to at least have the most mana possible. Oh, this is good for us though. No stage means that they're going to be a little bit slower at putting together mana. Hopefully. I speak too soon, maybe. Maybe not. maybe they'll be fine.
Maybe this is the last time we untap.
Probably not. They do only have 2 cards left in hand, so even if they were to do something like does that doesn't work, right?
Right. Cipher it.
No,
it has to deal combat
I don't think
damage.
that works though, right? It has to actually deal damage.
I think the only card in the deck that you can cipher it onto is Lear for it to work. Or Vizier if you like play Vizier.
Yeah, Vizier too, possibly. Alright, no Karn. Here we will play the Forest. We will tap the Lair and a Forest to put the Haven on the untapped Forest. We'll tap it. Yep. Cast the Old Growth Troll. Draw a card. And then we can untap just a regular forest. It doesn't need to be the 2 mana. And we will play out the other elf. So we're really, really looking for a Karn here. Because next turn, they're still missing a stage to be able to kind of go infinite mana-wise. And even with a stage here, their last cards would have to be like Hidden Strings and Pour Over the Pages, which I don't think... I mean, if they have it, they have it. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see. I think they really aggressively used that hidden strings. I don't think that was necessary. I think they'd much rather have that hidden strings now. All right, we need Karn here.
Yeah, yeah.
They played a land, so they need to have one good spell in the next two. That's not good. I guess we'll just attack. We can make a big lair here.
Might as well, right?
Yep.
Tap the elves.
Yeah, I tap both of them. Attack with both here. And then we'll want to untap the Wolfhaven with the Kiora and play another Wolfhaven.
Nope. Don't want to do that.
No. You actually want to put it on the Wolfhaven one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't tell you, and I was like, wow, like he made that conscious decision. Yeah, because we can use the Kiora to untap it, and now it's 3 mana instead of 2.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
I was really impressed. I was like, wow, he was
he
right
overestimated me.
So they need to have something here.
They tap for black.
Looks like they do. Yeah, looks like they do. They have the ultimatum.
All right, you want to make them do it or no?
No. We're not gonna make them do it.
They only have one card.
I don't want to put our. They only. Oh yeah. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Let's see if they pick right.
And they only have one black floating. They have no blue floating.
No, exactly. So actually, we could get this.
Yeah.
I'll see what they pick. They had a very good last 3 or 2 cards when we had kind of noticed.
Yeah.
I thought they were giving us a ton of time. All right.
So I'm giving them 4, right? I mean, I'm putting back 4.
No, you need to click on the card you want to put back which is omniscience. So they get 2 of them. Yep.
We want to let them
if you just read it there. Yeah. Put poor back. Yeah. They can't get anything right with the black mana that they get from.
Right. They'll only have 4 black mana.
Yeah, they can't get anything, so they need to have something in hand. Okay. Yeah, they have nothing that turns mana into other colors. Oh.
Yeah, so they look for another ultimatum, but they still only have
black mana. What can they get?
Oh, well now they'll get something that draws them cards, right? Because they'll give us Poor, Fae.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make them do this, right?
Yeah, no, they're good from here.
Okay.
No, they had to mess up what they got, which was not getting a Dark Petition or something. We don't need anything that we'll bring in here. No, we'll resubmit. So we really want to find a Karn, and we want to kind of aggressively mulligan in a sense to get there. We don't want to be too crazy of the mulligans, but we definitely want to be able to find a Karn. Like I said, I do think that this matchup is good. I think that Karn is really, really hard for them to beat. Most of the time, they don't even really play counter spells that interact. This is just a bad hand. We found the Karn, though.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's pretty
Oh
brutal.
man.
It's a gamble.
Yeah. I think we'll go down one more time. We'll keep this though. We'll put back the land and Cavalier.
Okay.
And we'll just try and draw really well. So a bit unlucky. Only hand we found with Karn had no lands.
Right.
That's not a terrible draw.
We're casting it, yeah?
Yep. Should have probably played the lair there, but hopefully it's not too big a deal.
Yep.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't think it'll matter. It'll specifically matter if we draw Karn.
Oh, the Otawara went down as a land.
Hopefully they just go, scrying here. That's not so bad. They're going to go get a Lotus Field or stage. So there are still a few away. Cavalier is fine. We'll attack for 5 here. So we would love to draw a land next turn. Cast the Cavalier, find a land with the Cavalier, cast Storm, and find a Karn. That would be
I like it. Yeah.
a decent scenario. Casting something. Ooh.
Cycling Vizier.
Gonna try and... Oh, they could be holding up Counterspell now, like Mystical Dispute.
Mm-hmm.
Which could put a wrench in our plans.
Nope.
Nope, casting a Shimmer. That's okay for us. Alright. Land or Karn. Elvish Mystic, terrible.
Yep.
Play the Elvish Mystic. After attacks here. It's still not horrible. We could draw untap land next turn and cast Storm and find Karn. But I don't even know if that's good enough anymore. I guess we're casting Cavalier here, but looking pretty dead. Tough mulligans. Oh, Nykthos though, very good. So if they don't go off,
right,
we should be fine.
There is a possibility.
If they don't win next turn, we probably win. This is a pretty good mull to 5. I have to say, pretty good mull to 5.
All right, who's got it?
They probably do. 8 cards.
Yeah.
They probably.
But they only have 2 lands down, Karnage.
Oh,
what are
man.
they gonna do with 2 lands? Is that a Supreme Verdict?
What are they doing? That's what, like, I think they just tap white, like, to tap white. I think it was because it's the first thing, but I would be pretty surprised if they Supreme Verdict. It would be weird. I guess, like, worst case would be, like, Farewell.
Right.
That's what they were using the white for.
Right.
Farewell, exile everything. Alright, they probably got it here. Probably got it. Alright, black, green, blue. I think they tapped weird, but they're still
One
good
black
here.
floating. What do we pick, Karnage? What do we put back?
I still think it's Omniscience.
It's probably
I still
Omniscience
think
in
it's
this
Omniscience.
case. They have 7 cards in hand, right?
Yeah. I think it's always Omniscience. I think even before, it still might have been Omniscience is like super powerful. We can always just hope they brick off pour over the pages. But
Right.
you're rough you're rough at this point.
Yeah.
The second they cast the ultimatum, it's rough.
Yeah, sure. Do whatever you want. I'm gonna load up a movie or something.
It doesn't take them that long to actually win the game, though.
Yeah, sometimes it does at my F&M.
That's paper.
Yeah.
Most of the people playing the deck are not even quite sure how it wins. They're hoping for the concedes.
Yeah, the immediate emergent ultimatum concede. I never do it.
Like,
I really try to never do it. We didn't last game, right? We didn't this game. So
I remember first time at my F&M I was playing Scape Shift in Modern back in the day, and been like weeks no one made me do it, and then one guy was like, yeah, go ahead, and it's not even that complicated of a combo, and I got like all like shaky and hands started sweating, and I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna mess this up?
yeah, I was playing against it. The first time I ever saw it drop the combo on paper, where he had cast the card that puts like half your library in your hand.
Yeah.
And then dropped the combo there, and he was like, move to discard. I was like, oh god.
Oh man. But that's it, right? Is like, it's, you know how to do it, but then when you're actually doing it, like especially in paper, you know, everybody gets a little bit more jittery in paper versus like on Magic Online. And what the heck?
Path of Peril.
Oh my god. Are we putting anything actually back on top here? We have to. God, what is even good here? I guess we'll put
right?
the Boseiju. No, we'll put the Boseiju.
Okay.
Because it will allow us to cast.
Right.
Destorm the festival. Guaranteed.
Right.
Not that I think we, you know, get to do anything here. So you have to stick it to something there. I mean, I still think he's just gonna. Oh.
See, this is why you don't insta-scoop to Emergent Ultimatum, right?
Jeez. I don't even know how this stuff happens. All right. Here we go.
We're in it.
All right. Here we go. Play it.
We still can't play
Thorn.
the Damping Sphere off of the Karn, right?
No, but we can hit a Kiora, hit a Cavalier, untap the Nykthos, cast second Storm, hit a Karn, hit a Kiora, untap, and then do it. We also need some things to go right. Here we go. Okay.
What?
Okay.
All right.
Kiora, Nissa.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can untap the Nykthos.
Yeah.
We can untap the Growth Troll Forest
with the
Nissa.
With Nissa, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can tap to make Nykthos green. Pay 2. One more. And then we can cast the Storm. And we need to hit Karn and
Kiora.
Okay, Karn, Kiora.
Oh man, we can cast the Damping Sphere. We have to keep this Kiora, right?
Keep that Kiora.
Okay. Grab the Damping Sphere.
Go and get. I can't believe this happened. I cannot believe this happened. Dampening Sphere.
Okay, untap the Old Growth Troll.
It doesn't really matter because we just need 2 lands.
Oh yeah, we have a green floating.
But yeah, sure. Actually, yeah, because then we can attack with this. You got it. Yes.
We can attack with
We
this?
can
Oh, it has
attack with it.
vigilance.
Yeah, it has vigilance, so then we can.
Oh, no, we
pass
can't. Oh, yes, we
through.
can.
Yes,
we can lose this
yeah,
mana.
we can pass through,
All right.
attack, put them to 2. Oh my god, this is exhilarating. Just don't pass through the main phase.
Right. I have done that once or twice. Okay.
And now we can cast the dampening sphere.
Let's go.
Okay. 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 They can still get out of this. They could go Beseiju.
Yeah.
And
But
go through this,
it was still absolutely worth doing.
But we did it. We did it. We
Oh,
got
blast
here.
zone. Yeah.
No, they need to untap the blast zone.
Right.
And then tap it. So it's
I
gotta
mean,
be Beseiju.
Lotus Field doesn't have a ton of cards that untap lands, right?
It needs 2 though, because it needs to
Oh!
Yes! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was insane. Oh my god. That was... Oh, jeez. It's worth it. We can just end the video. Just end the video. Send it. It can never get better than this.
So,
It can never get better than this.
how close were we? If we didn't have to grab Damping Sphere, could we have pulled off the Pestilent Cauldron combo with that board state?
No.
Okay.
No. This is a mulligan. It's practically a mulligan already because the double Nykthos doesn't do anything for us here.
Right.
Oh
my god.
I guess we're going down again. I guess we'll keep this, but this isn't great. We'll put the Cavalier back. Ugh.
This is pretty brutal.
God.
They kept
How
7
unlucky
again.
Can we have to go down to 5 again?
Unbelievable.
All right. Okay. Things are okay here.
Yeah.
Things are okay. All right. We've got some time.
Yeah. We also don't want to show the Karn until they actually transform a Thespian stage, right?
Yes. All right. We can play the Forest. Play the Wolfhaven. Pass the turn. And it's good too, because next turn we can play the old Growth Troll and kind of present some sort of attack on them too.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Aggressive hidden strings here.
I mean, maybe they've done it before, but I don't
Right.
think it's necessary. I think,
Cycle Vizier.
Vizier is okay. Vizier's okay. All right, so we can play the Growth Troll. Hopefully we can keep the Growth Troll around. If they don't counter this Growth Troll, then we're golden here. Good. So next turn, we can make 4 mana with Nykthos and have 2 mana left over to cast the Dampening Sphere, so we can cast Karn and the Dampening Sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't just go for it. I mean, we're going to go for it here anyway. Make sure you float for Nykthos first. Yeah, there you go. Karn.
They just gonna.
Are they gonna make it? What?
Why do they do that?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. No. That makes sense. Okay.
Why does it make sense?
Because they'll probably.
Oh, they did
we
a
want to go get
forest.
dampening
Oh,
sphere.
they didn't do it
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Lotus Field.
Oh
Okay.
no, that would have been crazy. But they did it, I think, because maybe they have a Beseiju.
Right.
So dampening sphere.
Yeah. But we have 2
And then
dampening
we
spheres,
cast
right?
it. We have 2 exactly. That's what makes Karn so good in this matchup. Is that he's 2. He's 2 like spells against them, which means that like next turn they have to Beseiju, and we could still go get another one. Oh
Oof.
God, they're even gonna do it like slowly. Ooh, this is good.
They took
good.
Blast Zone, not Beseiju.
That's strange. Maybe they don't run any Beseijus. All right, so we can do something. Can we do something crazy here? We can make 4 mana, play it, and then play the. Yeah, okay, cool. So we'll make 4 mana again.
Okay. Like this?
We'll play the old growth troll.
Oh my God, Damping Sphere.
Oh, dampening sphere. Jeez. Oh, it's okay. We'll go. It's fine. We'll go get the. We'll go get the other dampening sphere here. They still need to deal with this one. No, let's just play out the carry added.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just play out the carry added. My mistake.
Yeah, we kind of shut
And
ourselves off there, huh?
Like yes and no. So we will go. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, go through. We'll attack. What can we go get? Let's go see. Because we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could go get the God Pharaohs here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go get that. We can cast that next turn, even if they do something crazy. Like
Blast Zone will never hit God Pharaoh statue.
No. Let's attack first.
Just with Troll, right? Oh, well, yeah, obviously. Thought it was an elf.
And we'll cast the statue. And then plus Karn.
Oh, yep.
Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us.
How could it possibly?
All right, so our mess up of, well, my mess up of making us Nykthos means that we don't win next turn. Had we just went old growth troll, they would be dead. But hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt us.
Nope.
We win anyway. There we go. Good. It didn't matter. We did it for fun.
My mistake also didn't matter. We were both vindicated by that scoop.
Both all right. So that was crazy. I don't know how we won game 2. I'm not quite sure what their hand looked like, but I really feel like they had a win. I guess it was all lands. Not sure. But it is a good matchup for us. You saw the power of Karn in that matchup. It allows us to get 2 pieces of hate and like continually threaten to get more pieces of hate. And we can do it pretty quickly. So it's definitely a good matchup. I'm happy that we won it. We ended up mulliganing to 5, game 2 and 3, and we still won it. So for all of you mono green players out there, or people who want to pick up the deck, You can mulligan aggressively in this matchup. Karn is what you're looking for. So don't be afraid. Don't keep a 5 or don't keep a 6 or a 7 that just has like elves, trolls, and like Kioras that isn't gonna win you the game. Karn is the card you're looking for.
Yeah, yeah. This specifically for my brother, who plays mono green and wants to convert to mono green Karn combo, and will probably be the first person to watch this video when we release it and I send him the link. You can just go get Damping Sphere.
You could just go.
When you play at our FNMs and you're digging through your deck for Damping Sphere in Game 2 against all the Lotus Field players at our FNM, you can just use Karn and go get it.
Go get it. Never bring them in either.
Yes.
Don't bring them in. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that trap. A lot of people, think, I'll keep one in the sideboard and I'll bring one in and then I, 5. No, you keep both in there because your Karn's more valuable being able to get the 2 pieces than getting just the 1.
Right. All right. We have lost the die roll again.
Oh, man. All right. Gonna win this die roll at some point?
This is making up for the last video we did where we won 5 out of 5 die rolls.
All the die rolls. Oh god.
Kahira.
This is a mulligan. Kahira control. This is actually very good. We'll keep this. We'll put back one of the elves. We'll put back one of the elves.
We'll put back this ugly white border one.
Oh, come on. White borders are beautiful.
I'm sorry. I just offended like 1,000 people without realizing it. Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying.
Honestly, no matter what you said about white border, you offended somebody. It's definitely something in the Magic community. People are split right down the middle. They either love them or hate them, and either way, you're gonna make somebody upset.
Yeah. I mean, they were certainly necessary.
Kahira into God, what? Please don't tell me this is Bant control. Don't tell me this is Bant control.
We're gonna go up against Esper and Bant control the weekend before.
We're gonna slam a growth troll here.
Yeah.
Had we not drawn the Nykthos, maybe we go like Haven, just to ramp ourselves. But this is gonna ramp us practically the same now, with the Nykthos.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to see Bant control be good.
I love Bant control. Honestly,
I know you do.
Honestly, I love Bant control. I love it. I want it to be better than Esper. Like, I think Esper might be the better one, but I really want Bant control to be better. And honestly, like, let's be real, it's not Bant control. It's just blue-white control with growth spiral.
Right.
Play the Nykthos here. We will tap an elf and a forest to play a haven. Put the haven on the other one. See what they got here. Nykthos. And try and play this Cavalier.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of Censor, which is just going to get us bad. Oh, Growth Spiral. Okay. It is. It's Band Control. God, we're playing all the new decks that aren't new yet. But
grab a lair?
People are... grab a lair here. No, I don't know. Grab a lair. We draw Nissa, it'll look bad, but... I imagine they have very, very little way to deal with that lair. Probably just 4 marches. That's it. All right, they could verdict here.
Yeah.
But that's not. Oh god.
Or missed a land drop too.
Or miss a land drop here. We can play the Haven and the Oath. Right. Yes, and still have everything left over. Perfect.
All right, so we attack first. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll attack first, but not with the elf.
Right.
Attack first here. Give them the business. And then we can dump our hand out here so we can play the Haven on the other forest. Tapping the Haven. Look how quick you went over to the side there. I'm so proud. You can tap the lair. What do we find? Storm. Oh, a nice little elf. We could play the elf. It's free with the elf. It actually just makes the same. And oh,
we were gonna play Karn too.
yeah, I was gonna say Nykthos and then Karn. We
Oh.
have a ton of mana, but it's fine.
We should have a counter up for how many times I've not played Karn on my second main. I think we're at 3. No, we won.
Doesn't matter. You never get punished, though. It's fine.
All right. We have a little bit of a technical difficulty here. I'm going to be playing some amount of these rounds by myself. So we will see if I have learned the way. We have a land. We have an elf. I think Karnage has taught me pretty well to keep this. So we're going to do it. Going to play the beautiful old border Elvish Mystic that Mana Traders was nice enough to allow me to rent. Pass. Karnage, when you watch this part of the video, let me know if I kept a bad hand. I might have. Is there such thing as too many elves? Probably. Oh no. Oh, an Aether Gust. I don't know if I'm supposed to top this. Seems like I should. So I can't play anything now. Plan was untap the elf with Kiora, play another elf. They're gonna shock that in. No. Damping Sphere. Nice. Okay. Drop a land. Drop a Kiora. Whoop. Play an elf off of this elf. Huh? What? Oh, right. Yeah. The other part of Damping Sphere. So Damping Sphere also makes every subsequent spell after the first one I play, or either of us play, cast one more. Okay. Old Growth is good. I don't think I can cast Storm the Festival. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I can. Do I go for it though? 4 cards, absorb mana up. Even censor mana would hurt a lot. Let's try it. Dovin's Veto. Oh, no. They can't draw anything to counter this, so we get to cast it. Let's grab a Cavalier of Thorns. And I suppose an Old Growth Troll. We're going to get to draw off of Kiora because 2 creatures with power 4 or greater entered the battlefield. We're going to grab this forest off of Cavalier when it enters. We're looking pretty good. End the turn. That looks like a supreme verdict. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna attach this. I don't know if we need another. Let's just keep grabbing Cavaliers, right? Seems good. Or does it? 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. They can only deal with so many. We're going to attach this aura to this forest. And end their turn. Play land. Go for another Cavalier. Draw a card off of Kiora. No lands in the top 5. Draw a card. I can't play anything else because of Damping Sphere. Oh, I can. Untap this forest. Play an elf. Oh, right. Sorry. Old Growth also lets me add green. An extra green. That's okay. Okay. I'm not completely lost, but I am feeling a little bit lost. We'll get Karnage on right after this game. I just didn't want to keep my very patient opponent waiting any longer. Yep, they're going to gain 2 life, draw, or 1 life, draw 1 card, get their 2/2. What does it cost to turn this into a thing? Oh, just one? Nothing? I didn't realize that. Can I only do it as a sorcery? No, I can do that whenever I want. Okay, I should have probably done that last turn. Let's try to flashback Storm the Festival after we attack. Six, 7, 8, 9. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, I can. So we're going to tap 6, 8, 9, untap this one. Green. Oh, Damping Sphere. Oh, brutal. All right. Let's just go for that. Draw a card off of Kiora. Beseiju will help us deal with Damping Sphere. Oh, no, it goes straight onto the battlefield. It will not help us deal with Damping Sphere. Cast Oath of Nissa. I can't grab a Nykthos. Any order is fine. No. Pass. Not another Supreme Verdict. Oh, it's a fairy. It's not terrible. Okay. I'm gonna try to leave this untapped so I can make a thing and just try to be the beatdown. Or maybe I don't need to. I guess both of these at Teferi is probably the way. I mean, there was no reason to block that if, yeah, okay. I'll just go for an old growth troll so I don't overcommit into a supreme verdict. Probably could have played that Haven. Oh. Gaining another life, drawing another card. 2/2. End step. Going to create a 4/4 here. Paying 1. Draw a card off Kiora. A useless Nykthos. Just go to combat. So this truly is still just a green stompy deck, with a random infinite combo built in. I'm 1 damage off, and I didn't swing with my 1/1 elf. Oh no, okay. I really don't ever get punished for my mistakes. 6, 7, 8. I'm really trying to hold on to the Storm the Festival so I can rebuild my board after a wipe. Let's just play a Haven. Pass. Okay. Gain 1. Draw 1. 2/2. Can't shock in the breeding pool. I guess being afraid of casting this Storm the Festival or even this Old Growth Troll was a mistake. I don't think I have anything in my sideboard that will immediately present lethal right now. So let's see if they can block. Oh, they're gonna discard for a march. It's a lot of cards. Oh, unless they just hit the troll. Okay. Down to 2. Let's play out the Karn, mostly so I can see what I have. Yeah. We can't grab this Cauldron, right? Because we need Nykthos for the combo. This deals damage to a creature. I'll grab that. I suppose we might have had a way to present lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did. I could have played the Karn, grabbed the Sky Sovereign, killed the 2/2, swung in for lethal. I don't know if it's going to matter, or if I'll continue my streak of never being punished for any mistake I ever make. Farewell. Is it a farewell? That's pretty good. Okay. I just go for this. Put down an old growth troll, and I suppose a Nykthos. Draw a card here. Play out the forest. Untap this forest for a green and a colorless. Cast another old growth troll, draw another card. See if they can draw Supreme Verdict or another farewell. And then this is just grind fest. Good games. All right. I'm going to try to go get Karnage.
Back from the dead.
All right. We got Karnage back. We went 2-0 against Bant Control. I didn't get to really see like what that deck was really going for. I mean, I think it was blue-white control plus growth spiral plus Hydroid. That's all I got to really see. I saw a farewell while you were away. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a deck that we're gonna see at least some people tinker around with a little bit once the new set drops. You want to pretty much just be that classic blue-white control deck, but playing growth spiral and endless detour. I think those are like the cards that draw you to, just splash a little bit of that green in there. I think we might see a little bit of it go around. I personally hope it's good, but I don't know if it's necessarily great just to stretch your mana for, a little bit of ramp and like endless detour. But I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that's pretty much what it's waiting for, right? It's like we had that when Uro was in the format, it was good enough to at least have to at least splash a little bit.
Right.
But I don't know necessarily if anything else.
We're
on the play. We're on the play. Here we go. Elf? Oh, we got elves.
No lands.
We don't got lands though. We got all the elves you could possibly want. This is all right. It's not great, but it's all right.
The hand I kept while we disconnected had 2 elves, 3 lands, a Kiora.
Wow.
Wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. So we'll just start here with forest, elf. Next turn, we can play the Haven, attack with the elf, maybe draw something else. Ooh, maybe Winota? All right, this isn't so bad. All right, we can Haven, elf again.
I want to do this, right?
It doesn't really matter. Just because we're only going to play the elf afterwards. So no matter which way we did it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Here.
So next turn we get to storm.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. Happens fast. We get to storm next turn. As long as they don't Spellbinder here, that's fine. We get the Storm. We don't really have anything that we can hit that's going to be like all that great that's going to stop them from being able to, you know, just go Winota and attack.
Yeah.
Actually,
My lord.
But we can kind of like try and race their combo with our own. So we'll play Forest. We will Storm. We're pretty much hoping to hit like Nykthos, Cavalier, something that like ramps us, plus also like blocks and eats some of the creatures. We hit a Nykthos, so that's all right.
We can grab Cage, right?
Hold on a second. Yeah, so we can grab Cage here. Wow, that's awesome.
And Nykthos?
Yeah. Go get Cage.
I mean, we can't play the Cage, right?
Yeah, we can.
Why? How?
The Nykthos is untapped. That's what I was.
Oh, Cage is only one. Yeah.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah. There we go.
Does Cage shut off Storm the Festival, or does it exile them first? No, it doesn't. So it shuts it off.
Yeah, it shuts it off, but I think we needed to do that because if they just slam like Winota here,
yeah,
they get 3 triggers, and especially with what we hit, had we hit like a Cavalier or something, we probably would have passed up Karn, played the Cavalier, been able to eat one of their things, and then like Storm again. Had we hit like Nykthos and Cavalier, the fact that we hit Nykthos but no more like green pips means that we couldn't Storm next turn anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd rather just shut them off and hope we can draw something along the game.
They can't use that treasure token unless they swing all at Karn.
Which they probably will.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them not to. It looks like they're probably missing land drops. Oh, no, not even. I don't know what they have in hand. Maybe it's just Winota and they didn't feel like playing it out.
Yeah.
Killing Karn. Let's draw Nissa, Cavalier, something. Not as good.
A Kaladesh Forest.
I guess here we make a 2/2.
Do I need to shock this in to do that?
I don't think so. No, we're good. I think you could just tap it.
Yeah.
And then all the lands, and I think we can keep up the elves. So 2/2 reigns supreme on this board. We won't attack. We don't want to offer up the elves. So let's see. Kind of that classic all ramp, no pamp for both of us there. Spellbinder, not looking great here. Gonna put us on a clock nonetheless, but it looks like, you know, they have all ramp, we have all ramp. Pretty much who draws something first. Still think Cavalier is the best thing we could draw, so they do have the Winota. So Cage looking real good here. Forest not. I'll just play the Forest, pass the turn.
We need one more turn for Storm.
We can't Storm because of the Cage.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
They still get to look at the top 6 cards of their library, right? And then they have to put them on the bottom or something?
Yep. Yeah, it's like a weird... I think it's random anyway, so it's not even like a scry. It's just like a weird look through my deck. We'll block We'll block an elf here.
Let's
We're not
block
at the
an
point.
Innkeeper.
No,
Innkeeper?
no, an elf, an elf. I don't think the innkeeper matters at this point. The elves could be important at some point, but I don't think we're trading away our elves yet. Maybe next turn. Another elf. We're gonna die by elves here. Jeez. Cavalier. Karn's maybe good. What can we go get? Trying to think.
Sky Sovereign?
I think we just die if we get Sky Sovereign, right?
Oh, yeah, we're at 8, huh? Look at that.
Yeah. Maybe not though. Just move the sideboard for a sec down. Just let me count this. So if we block, so if we kill this, if we kill the Elite Spellbinder, we block the Winota. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we go to 3, and then we have the Sky Sovereign. Yeah. Get the Sky Sovereign. Play the Forest and play the Sky Sovereign. So as long as they don't play a Brutal Cathar, we can survive. And we can hit the Spellbinder here. And pass the turn. And then they're in like a weird spot where like if they leave Karn, then we can go get something else with Karn. Or they can try and attack our life total. So we have to block the Winota. So they didn't draw Cathar. So yeah, they're gonna bring some at Karn. So Karn was kill a creature, gain 3 life. Not bad. So
sure.
what are they? So what are they sending at us now?
Just Winota.
Just Winota at us?
Yeah, that's what they have to do to kill Karn, right? Because I could
All
just
right.
block.
Yeah, so let's just eat one of their elves, take the 4.
Right? Karn, us.
Yeah, so let's just eat one of the elves instead. Let's take 4. Because next turn we can still survive and we can trade away more of the board too. Lair's not horrible. Now, does it make more sense to crew the Sky Sovereign, kill one of the elves?
Right.
They attack with that. We block. No.
No, because Brutal Cathar and...
Yeah, no. So we'll pass. So here we can chump the Winota with an elf, eat another elf, trade other elves, take 2, go to 2.
And we could crew it to block, right?
Oh, we could crew it to block the Winota. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, let's do that.
Because then there's no chance of the Brutal Cathar coming down. Oh, these Winota triggers would have been brutal, huh?
Brutal. Oh, brutal. Brutal. So let's crew the Sky Sovereign, block the Winota, and then trade away an elf. Go to 1. Pick crew. This is an incredibly strange game.
Grafdigger's Cage shutting off our own stuff.
So block an elf with an elf, and Winota with the Sky Sovereign. Go to 1.
Okay.
We need to draw something here.
I mean, we can also block with Hydra forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyora's like okay.
I mean, we can untap the ship, like we can swing with the ship, right? And then
Yeah, and then untap the ship. But is that good?
no, I don't think so.
Oh, actually, no. Actually, yeah. This is good. So yeah, crew the ship
With these,
with those. Yeah, crew the ship.
and then we can crew it again with Hydra. Oh, we still go to 1, no? I
No,
mean
so
0.
now we nope. So now we attack.
Okay.
We kill an elf, and then we play Kiora and we untap the wolf, and then we can block with Lair and the wolf on the 2 that are left over.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brutal Cathar is still bad, regardless.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to be aggressive. So we got to play Kiora, untap the wolf. And now the Lair and the wolf could eat both of the innkeepers.
And we just lose to Brutal Cathar.
Yeah, we just lose to Brutal Cathar. There was no real way.
What in the world?
Look at that.
I know that was partially my idea toward the end, but I started having second thoughts about it as soon as it left my mouth.
Oh man!
All right. No sideboard again, or are these cards? What are these cards for? What matchup are these for?
These are for like mono red.
Oh wait.
And Winota.
Yeah.
So
this is good.
These are These are where we're going to be bringing in Hunt the Hunters here. The Kenris I think are like so. I wouldn't bring them in. I don't think they will do very much in this. For them though, I would cut a Kiora and a Karn, as I think those are our worst cards in the matchup, shockingly. Even though Karn did some work there.
If we're cutting Karn, do we board in Cage?
No.
Never.
No, you never board in any of the Karn stuff. We're cutting just one Karn. We technically still have like more Karn hits than not because we have. This is a great hand.
Yeah.
This is a great hand. So we'll lead on Forest, Elf, and then next turn we can go Haven into Hunt the Hunter and Elf. So
yeah.
We can do some pretty big work here. Spellbinder messes this up. Voice does practically nothing against us.
Is that what we're hunting, or are we hunting their elf?
We're hunting their elf.
Okay.
The voice is almost like.
All right. I need to not mess this up.
Yeah. So you need to tap. If you want to mess it up less, probably playing the Nykthos is easier.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you can tap the Nykthos and the elf and put the Haven on the forest. Just because it separates them. Both forests go like on top of each other. Yeah. And then you can tap the forest to play Hunt the Hunter and the elf. And play the other elf. And we're off to the races. And then next turn we can play Karn, Cage.
Yeah.
And go from there with an oath to kind of settle things up.
Okay.
So
Karn.
Yep. Karn, you want to tap your mana and leave one elf because there is a world that we would chump to keep Karn alive depending on what they do. There's a world where that happens. I don't think we would, but
grab Cage.
Yep. Tap an elf for cage. And pass the turn.
Leave up the elf.
Yeah, leave up the elf. Like I said, there's a world where, like, if they end of turn, hit the cage here, then we probably want to, like, chomp, get another cage. But I don't think so. We want to kind of keep the Oath of Nissa up for, like, after we've run out of everything. So we just let this happen, though. It's fine. Like I said, they would have had to destroy the cage for me to get, like, really worried about needing to go get another one. Now we play Cavalier. No, that sucks. It's fine though. Doesn't matter which one we keep. And now we'll plus Karn on nothing, not on the cage. Last turn.
Okay.
I don't think they attack and suicide things into the oh god. Okay. Are they going, I'm assuming, after Karn? Yeah.
Yeah, with both. So we block Winota? Yeah?
Yeah, we Winota. I don't know, really.
Oh, it's still, the Karn still dies.
Yeah, it still dies, but I don't know why they need it dead so badly. Oh, so they just have another Winota, so it doesn't matter.
Well, we have another Cavalier, so.
All right, so we can play Elf is free. Yeah, Elf is free, so we can just play that out with Forest. And then we can Nykthos with the Haven. Play Cavalier. This is where we want to hit one of our Nykthoses again.
Oh. Are we doing the thing?
The thing?
Oh, that's
no.
Of course. No. Okay.
If we hit a Nykthos, we could have done some crazy things.
Okay.
We can play out the Oath now. Try and find something to do next turn.
Nykthos.
Oh, Nykthos. We'll just take Forest here. We don't have a need for a second Nykthos. Would have loved to have that Storm though. And we attack with the Cavalier here. We're gonna get aggressive. Gotta close this game out.
Yeah.
Now we just need to draw a Storm the Festivals.
Well, we have a cage down.
Yes. Oh, yeah, but we can cast the original Storm the Festivals. So we can't put creatures in, but we can put permanents in.
Oh, that's why we're not using. That's why we're using cage.
Weatherstone. Yeah, exactly. Because Weatherstone stops all of it. This at least allows us to storm and grab 2 planeswalkers.
Yeah.
So
nice.
We just can't flashback storm.
Right. Okay.
All right.
So, that was the Winota matchup. That was the best feeling Winota matchup I've played.
Yeah, honestly, Karn's just good.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. Karn's really, really good against a lot of the good decks that you see running around. I would say combo decks. Winota falls into that category. It's really, really good against the combo decks. It's a reason why this deck is a little bit more successful than some of the other iterations. And that's it. We saw it against Lotus Field. Playing a Karn as quickly as possible won that. Playing a Karn as quickly as possible against Winota won that matchup. It's definitely why the deck is seeing a little bit of a rise. It is side note, why I think playing Karn the Great Creator in Explorer is going to be super, super important.
Yeah, because it
I
shuts
think
off Anvil. It shuts off Winota. It
yeah.
shuts off Phoenix to some extent.
It really does shut off Phoenix because the Phoenix that we know now isn't the Phoenix that we're going to see in Explorer. So without Treasure Cruise and Temporal Time Trespass, they're really like a straight up, I need to bring Phoenix onto the battlefield deck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Karn's also going to shine in those matchups too. So for all of you Explorer players out there, I think that Karn the Great Creator is a card you want to try and find shell for. It won't be this exact deck as we're missing Nykthos and things like that, but you might want to find a shell to get it into something.
Yeah, perhaps Jund Food.
Jund Food. I have it in my Esper Greasefang deck that is on Playing Pioneer, if anybody wants to see.
Your Explorer deck?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I went for, normally I'm a traditional playing Tezzeret and Sorin. I think that where Explorer is right now, I think that Karn's just the better option.
I haven't looked at the list. So let's go to playingexplorer.com. Is it 4 or just 3?
It's 3 if I remember correctly.
In best of 1, there are...
In best of 1, you will not play it, as I don't think that it's necessary in best of 1. But in best of 3, you will play the Karn. So
okay.
in best of 1, you want to be putting Parhelions into the graveyard and attacking with them as quickly as possible. So it's kind of a different deck. Mm-hmm. You want to be doing it, so you want to be playing things that allow you to draw cards, put cards into the graveyard. So best of 1, it looks a little bit different. I think in best of 3, you want to be on the Karn the Great Creator plan instead of the Tezzeret Sorin plan, as you want to be able to have some game against pretty much every deck that's out there. Where in best of 1, you want to do your thing faster than they're doing their thing. All right, on the play.
Let's see.
Come on. Look at how much better we were on the play. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. God. On the play, we'll be able to untap. We have to mulligan. We have to be disciplined. It's like so close. This is actually good. We'll keep.
Sure.
We'll put back a Oath.
Yep.
Good to roll. Lead on Lair. Elf.
Beautiful.
Yeah. This is actually a very, very good hand. It looks deceivingly bad, but it's actually good. Oh, yeah.
Another Lotus Field match.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Feels good. All right. We can play the Forest. I don't think there's a reason. No. All right. So we can play the Wolfhaven, tapping the Mystic and the Lair. Putting that on the Forest, then Oath. Play Karn. Can we find a Karn? We will take the Mystic here.
Mm-hmm.
Play the Mystic. Last turn. We've got mana.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
we've got mana. We've got that. Oh, not Lotus.
Oh man.
Oh,
Lotus Field shocking in a Gruul fucking shock.
Watch out. This isn't Lotus. All right, what do we got going on here now? Oh,
energy. Let's go.
My, is this Marvel? Is this Marvel?
Is our match 5 going to be Aetherworks Marvel? Stay tuned.
I hope it's Marvel. All right. No reason to play the Nykthos here. So we'll play the Cavalier. Maybe hit a Nykthos. Oh, yes. Yes, and we put a storm in the graveyard.
Are
Oh,
we
here
doing
we
the
go.
thing?
We might be able to do the thing, hopefully. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
I
They
still
can
don't
have some
really know what
interaction.
the thing is or what we need to do the thing. Uh,
We a storm is a good start, but we need to
okay.
hit pretty much like from there. We would need to hit like
Aether Hub.
uh,
Let's go.
yeah. This is it. This is it.
Fable,
Fable the Mirror Breaker. That sounds like a good card in Aetherworks Marvel.
right?
Yeah, I like that. All right, is this pretty much free? Pretty much, yeah. All right, so we can play the Wolf Haven on the other forest, tapping the Wolf Haven. And we can activate Nykthos, tapping the Wolf Haven. How much does that net us? 7, 8, 9. So we need to play the Nykthos here. And it's important to keep the one that is untapped. Tap the Nykthos. You can use the mana that's already
Oh,
there.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then we can storm.
Okay.
What do we hit here? What do we hit here?
I'm really happy to see Storm the Festival seeing play in Pioneer.
Ooh. Oh my. So we are going to take Nykthos and Oath. Keep the Nykthos that's untapped. Hopefully hit something good with the Oath. Keep untapped Nykthos. Come on, let's keep it going.
Karn, right? No.
Oh, Elvish Mystic. Yuck. All right, so we'll tap the Nykthos here with the 2 mana that's floating, and we'll just make a massive lair. And we'll swing.
Tap the elf too.
No, we can play the other. We can play the elf like
Oh,
post
yeah.
combat with the elf. And we'll swing for 11 here. They only have 3 energy, so probably not gonna be able to Aetherworks us here. Probably not. Draws 2 cards. Theater Wayfinder.
This is wild.
I don't know what's going on over there.
Ugin's in the graveyard.
Okay, so yeah,
Wood Weaver's Puzzles in the graveyard.
they are Aether.
For sure.
They are marveling, but so they can attack. No, they can't attack. No. Oh, they're attacking anyway. Okay. They need another creature or to gain some life.
Hmm.
Or I guess a removal spell too works. Oh, that works.
Gain 3.
And that gives them enough to Aether. Oh man.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
They stopped us on our upkeep. Oh, all right.
Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna make a lair here. Make a massive lair. And attack with everything.
Okay.
We can bring the elves in because they can't block them anyway, so.
Yeah, right.
So we're okay here. Pretty much whatever they hit off the Marvel, if they do Marvel, we can probably still attack through. Like an Ugin just wipes the board, but then our lair gets the job done.
Right.
So we should be okay.
Marvel.
All right, here we go.
Spin it.
Spin the wheel. I guess Ulamog beats us. Probably. Yeah, Ugin's not good enough.
Okay. Wipe the board. And then they have to have removal to stay alive.
Actually, they stay alive. Have they played a land yet? Go over Puzzle Works for me.
Oh, right.
So they punted. Okay, so they die, but they shouldn't have died. I mean, they could have the removal spell nonetheless, which is there, but they could have just stayed alive by sacking the Puzzle Works here. All right. Do they have the removal spell? No.
That would have been wild.
So yeah, so they could have not attuned, gained 3 life off the Puzzle Works, and probably won the game from there. God, I don't think there's anything. No, we're not bringing in anything. Here we go. So both decks are trying to do their things faster, I guess. Again.
Yeah.
Again, I think we said it a million times. Karn is super good here. God, it's not a fast Karn though. I say we keep it.
All right.
Yeah. I say we keep it. Let's try and use the oath to find like either like an elf, and then we can get Karn out a little bit faster.
I'd really like to activate the combo, but it doesn't seem like.
I don't think we'll. I don't think so. I don't think even learning the combo, teaching it to everybody was worth it for this league. Elf is good here. Any elf? The non-white border. Breaking the hearts of many Magic players. Yep, that's fine. This turn we can go Elf, Oath. What do we? Cavalier. Take a second Karn just in case. But I don't think it really matters. We can also play the beautiful one next turn instead.
True. Yeah. It is very beautiful.
Yeah. So Karn is just pretty much game. We don't even need to find anything with it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They just can't activate Marvel.
Yeah.
So we will play land, play Karn.
Secret Lair Karn. Oh my god, what's that?
They're sacking because they won't be able to after.
Yeah.
We don't search for anything, just plus it. I don't know what they could have, but I'd rather it had higher loyalty. They're going to mostly be able to remove it with damage-based removal, so since they're red-green, so just plus it. And we pretty much win the game here.
Marvel.
Sure. So we can play Kiora into Growth Troll? Yes. We need to play the Overgrown Tomb untapped to do that, though. Then untap.
Green, green, green. Draw a card off Kiora.
Get plus Karn. No, we don't need to make that a 4/4. Just pass. So something we could have done if we really wanted to be like super safe was we could have minus Karn, went and got like Pithing Needle, needled the Aetherworks, so that they have like two things that they have to answer. But I want to get greedy here and be able to activate Nykthos for more mana next turn. So I wanted the growth and the Kiora. So Nykthos. We can play the Growth Troll from... we can actually play the... No, just the Growth Troll. Just the Growth Troll. I was trying to see if we could also play the Haven. Now we can activate Nykthos. We can play Cavalier. And we can play Haven.
We have to be able to combo off, right?
We're getting very close. Oh my god, yeah. Get the Nykthos. Okay. Get the Nykthos. Oh yeah.
I hope they don't scoop.
Keep the untapped one. Draw a card.
Draw a storm.
Okay,
oh, we have a storm in our graveyard.
Yeah. So we will we can play the Haven here on a land. Yes, we can play the Haven on a land.
Do we want to play it on the Nykthos?
I actually don't know how that interaction works. Whenever land is tapped for mana. Yeah, I guess so. Let's see.
All right.
Let's see if it adds an extra mana. You'll teach me something today, Rose. And now we activate it for Nykthos. For green.
14.
So now we can...
Storm.
So we can do the combo if we want.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we can go get the cauldron here.
Okay. Timestamp this moment. All right, so we're going to cast the backside, right?
So no, not yet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to untap the Nykthos with the Kiora that's on there.
Okay.
And then we're going to play the Karn from our hand.
Okay.
We're going to keep the one that we haven't activated.
Yep.
Now we're going to play the backside of the cauldron.
Okay.
Returning Kiora and Karn. You can tap the mana that's on the side there. We don't need to tap the Nykthos yet. We're still like way mana. And now we tap the Nykthos.
Okay.
For mana.
Yep. 17.
And then you use now you use the Karn to go get the cauldron again. And then you just continue this loop.
Okay.
So cauldron will be over there. Now we need to play the we need to play the Kiora and the Karn, because you always need to have a Kiora and a Karn in your graveyard to bring them back. And then so you're just ruling them away and untapping the Nykthos every time to keep mana.
Keep that one.
Yeah. And then Karn.
Keep the pretty one. Okay. Now cast this.
And now we cast this.
Okay, we're
going
gaining
to get
4 life every turn, right?
Yeah.
Grab
So
these
we need
two.
to Yeah. So we need to gain 48 life this turn
Okay.
to combo. Yeah, so it's a long combo. So now you want to go get the Cauldron.
Oh, okay.
They
Well,
don't want to
we
see.
saw the loop twice. So
so that's the loop. It's a lot of clicking. It's a lot of making sure you are clicking on the right planeswalkers you want to keep. We were really lucky because we had like an excess of mana that even if you messed up and clicked the wrong planeswalkers, we still had enough mana that we could go get the other ones and then activate them again. But it is definitely kind of hard for the clicking, especially if you're not familiar with MTGO and it's your first time and you're like trying to click through it. It's definitely like click heavy, but it's not that hard. Once you've got it, it's just, returning Kiora, Karn, putting them on the battlefield, legend ruling, returning to legend ruling, and then you do that until you gain, anywhere between 40 to 50 life, depending on how long the games went on.
And then you cast the front side of the cauldron.
Yeah, and then so what you do on the last Kiora that you play, you untap the black source that you have, and then you play the front side, tap it, and mill them for the game.
Okay. Yeah.
It's it sounds more confusing than it is.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a lot better on paper.
It's much better on paper. I mean, then again, your opponent can, force you to play through it, but definitely in most cases, you're allowed to like demonstrate a loop. So we would be able to demonstrate that we're making infinite mana and just returning Karn and Kiora over and over again. And we could say we want to do it, this many times, and then you just play the Cauldron.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the deck. Talk a little bit about the games. Let's go over those, starting with match 1, which I believe was Esper Control.
All Esper right. Control, yes. Esper Control was first. Like we said, kind of when we queued into it. I don't know if right now is the time for Esper Control. 5 days from now, maybe would be a better choice. The person was probably trying to kind of get a feel for some of the cards they were looking for. We lost that matchup. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We went down on the clock, and then we kind of ran out of time. We did win game 2. We lost game 1, and game 3 we were, within that game. I think it was a really good demonstration, though, of how this deck plays against the control decks. The Esper control deck had a lot of similar cards to what you would see in the blue-white control matchups, which is, pretty much the king of control right now in the metagame. And you kind of see how this deck plays out. It's got the ability to be this like green devotion stompy deck with like planeswalkers that kind of disrupt a lot of the game. So it kind of attacks them on all different axes. So they need to have the right removal spells or the right counter spells at the right time. And it doesn't always line up well. So you saw kind of the power level of this deck in those matchups. And that's kind of what's boosted this mono green deck from, let's say, tier C, F and M, even like needs a bit of refinement or off meta, to right up at the top now because you have that combo kill. So whenever you have a combo kill, it's kind of like that Splinter Twin effect where the person across the table from you always has to be afraid that you are going to be able to combo. So they can't really just tap out for Narset or tap out for Teferi without being able to hold up a counter spell. So it kind of creates that fear, and it creates a game pattern that kind of benefits you as you're attacking with 1/1s or 2/2s or 4/4s. So I do think that we had a real shot in that matchup, and I do think that matchup isn't necessarily bad. I think it's definitely a closer to 50-50 or 60-40 matchup for this deck.
Great. Yeah, and for those whose brains haven't been poisoned by other formats that aren't as good as Pioneer, the Splinter Twin effect is basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, a deck that has its own game plan, either control or whatever, but also has like a combo that could be activated that just wins them the game at some point, kind of like Parhelion in Pioneer.
I would say it's like it's a step above that. So like what's really important to note about like the difference between Parhelion and like that that Splinter Twin effect is like Parhelion, you can take a hit and then you can kind of like go from there and try and like stabilize yourself. The Splinter Twin like effect, like you lose the game, and it's similar in this, right? Like, I mean, I think it's crazy for a control player to think that, but like we could have in our hand Karn, Kiora, if we have 2 cards, and we can win the game. So like they always have to be cognizant of the fact they can't tap out, they can't answer things like in our main phases or in our combat. They have to be careful because we can just win the game. And so that's kind of what that Splinter Twin effect is where you kind of can continue to keep doing what your deck is doing, like you said, either controlling or this aggro like this one's doing, where it's just attacking and playing creatures. And your opponent has to respect the fact that you can just win the game. So this is what this deck kind of has now, and that's where it's now gaining those advantage points in the control matchups. Where before, control knew that, okay, they only have 2 cards in their hand, worst thing they can play is a Nissa, I can play the Teferi, it won't die, I can untap, and then I can deal with things. Where now they can't really do that because we could just win the game. And so it creates like play patterns that are beneficial to this deck's game plan.
All right. What was match 2?
Match 2 was Lotus, Lotus Field, Hidden Strings, whatever people are calling that deck. It is a great matchup. We said it throughout the entirety of the videos. I'll say it through this recap too. Karn wins that matchup. So you want to be looking for a Karn or a way to find a Karn. So you want to be aggressively mulliganing in the Lotus Field matchup more than I would say any other matchup, because you don't really need a lot of resources to beat them. So comparable to the Winota round that we played in 4, you can't really be mulliganing all the way down to Karn against Winota, because if you're just playing like Elf Karn and you have no cards left in hand, you're going to lose the game just because they're going to be able to play creatures and attack through you, where Lotus Field just does one thing. And so you can, mulligan down to 5 like we did both games and just ramp out to a Karn and win the game. So in that particular matchup, you want to be finding Karn, and the fact that we have Karn game 1 means that we pretty much are favorites in that matchup. I would be very, very surprised to lose more than, say, 1 out of 10 matchups.
Yeah, having access to Damping Sphere game 1 is...
Yeah, and it's important. I don't know, depending on, what your metagame is or anything like that. If you have any Lotus players in your field, and you're thinking like, oh, maybe I can cheat and play 1 Dampening Sphere, the answer is just no. You need to be playing both. It's really, really important because most of those deck lists will have at least 1 answer to the Dampening Sphere. So Karn having 5 loyalty allows you to get both of your Dampening Spheres with 1 Karn. So you want to be able to have both of those things to be able to kind of close out those games and lock them out completely.
All right. Was game 3 Bant control?
Yeah, game 3 was Bant control. Kind of similar to what we were talking about with the Esper control. I think it's 5 days too early to be playing Bant control. It's same thing really. It's a traditional Azorius control deck with a splash of some cards, and we saw in that matchup, it's the exact same problem. Is they're trying to make sure that we're not dropping combo pieces, but at the same time trying to deal with what's attacking them, and it just creates a pattern that's really, really difficult for them, and we can just overwhelm them from there. Storm the Festivals was better in that matchup, comparable to the Esper matchup, where they had mainboard Cling to Dusts, which kind of dealt with it on the backside. In that matchup, Storm the Festivals is even better because they can counter the front side, and then most of the time the next turn we can spend 10 mana and cast it again, and the more 2-for-1s we're getting in those matchups, the more we're going to win.
Yeah, and that was both of those games we were just all in on dealing combat damage. We were never looking to do much else other than that.
No, that's it. And that's kind of like what happens in these control matchups. I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record here, but you're going to be playing your regular game plan of playing creatures, and they're always going to be afraid of the combo. So they're always going to respect the fact that you could have it, or that you could play like a problematic planeswalker. So they're not really incentivized to kill the creatures. And so they're going to get to a point where they're taking a bunch of damage and using their life as a resource, and we're able to tax their hands by playing out our good spells and still attack with those creatures. So it's just a play pattern that's really, really tough for them, and not really something that they're going to be able to consistently beat on a regular basis. As long as your draw is relatively normal, you're going to be able to kind of like attack them down at the same time as playing strong spells.
Right. Game 4
was Winota. We talked about it a little bit in the Lotus Field one. It falls into the category of combo deck. Again, Karn shines in those matchups. We saw it actually in the both games that we played against it. We just went Karn, Cage, and they just looked like ones and 2/2s. Like that's pretty much what that deck looks like when it's not able to trigger. I'm sure somebody can clip this video and see how many triggers they actually had that they didn't get to use. Right. We would have been done for there if we had not had the Cage both times. So again, Karn is the important piece of the puzzle in all of these combo matchups. And like I said, though, you don't want to be too aggressive in trying to find Karn, as like they still can attack you. So if you're low on resources, they can play things like a Chariot and Tovalar and just kind of overwhelm you if you're not doing very much but just putting a Cage onto the battlefield. So it is a little bit different than the Lotus Field matchup, but overall the same kind of concept. Karn is king.
Yeah, and we should talk about it a little bit here in case somebody didn't watch the entire Winota matchup. But it looks like Karn is pretty well positioned for Explorer, considering Rakdos, Anvil, Jund Food, Winota, Phoenix are looking at being some of the top decks in the format. They're at least the most complete decks in the format from their Pioneer ports, which is probably what people are going to look at early in the game, right? Is porting Pioneer decks directly into it, or porting historic decks directly into it. So Karn looks pretty well positioned there, shutting off artifacts for Anvil, bringing in Damping Sphere and Grafdigger's Cage against Winota and Phoenix. Looks great.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. Said it a little bit, like you said, in that Winota matchup. Winota's going to be a very, very big deck, along with, like you said, all of those ones that we can kind of port straight into Explorer. And Karn just seems to be good against all of them. Even, Phoenix, which in regular Pioneer, Karn isn't very good in that matchup. Karn is much better in the Explorer Phoenix matchups, as they don't have any of those Delve spells or ways to kind of like pull ahead or take infinite turns or anything like that. So just being able to lock them out of Phoenix is going to be huge in those matchups. So Karn is really, really well positioned. I don't know necessarily what the best shell for Karn is. You can't play him in this particular deck that we're looking at now because we don't have Nykthos and some of the other pieces. And we do see him a little bit in Jund's Sacrifice decks, seem to play a little bit of Karn, so it could be in that spot. And it could be in just a regular like mono green ramp deck or Golgari ramp deck or something like that. Just something that can kind of power out Karn and take it full advantage of the Karn board. An important note, we spoke about it a little bit too, there's a very, very big difference between best of 1 and best of 3. And I don't necessarily think Karn is well positioned in best of 1. I think in best of 1, you want to be doing something that's very, very powerful and explosive versus being able to react to somebody's game plan. There's a very, very big difference between that. It's kind of, we use the term like gold fishing. You want your deck to be better than what the other person's doing. So I don't know if Karn's great in those, but if you're looking to play the best of 3 format, I think finding a shell that Karn excels in is going to be very, very key going forward. Yeah,
because those 4 or 5 decks we already mentioned, plus all of the Greasefang variants, Karn does pretty well against them. It shuts off crewing Parhelion. In the Mardu one, it shuts off using a blood token to put a Parhelion in your graveyard. So all of the decks that are looking like pretty top contenders will take a beating from Karn, and probably John Food is. I mean, that's my initial like early thought as a shell for it, because it's already been a big part of that deck in Pioneer for a while, because you can also use it to grab your Witch's Oven, your Onicult Anvil, a Bolus's Citadel if you want. So it's just good in that shell in Pioneer already. And I wonder if that's where things are going to go early on in Explorer.
Yeah, I definitely see that being a place that it could play. I think that it also weirdly slots into the red-black sacrifice deck. I think you can play them in that if you wanted to. It does a very similar amount of things where it can go get the anvils, it can go and get the synthesizers.
Yeah.
It can go get the ovens the same way. So you could play it in something like that. I probably will try and do it into kind of a ramp style deck. So something green X, or maybe just green. Something that can play them quick and kind of protect them a little bit, and get some bigger things. Because I do also think that being able to get God Pharaoh statue is very, very powerful. So those decks can't really go get God Pharaoh statue, as they're a little bit light on mana. So maybe playing something with a bit more ramp can go and get that and punish some other decks too. But I mean, that's the fun of Explorer, is we really don't know what that format's gonna be or look like, and right. Anybody can give it a shot.
Yeah, we just don't have. We're missing 4 of these elves, and we're missing all of these Nykthoses. So this traditional style of mono green ramp is. We also don't have Sylvan Caryatid, right?
Nope, we don't have Caryatid either. But we do have 4 elves. We have gooses. We have Haven. We have some other rampers and things like that. So we could play like I said, it doesn't need to be this like mono green devotion style. It could be something like Golgari, or something like Bant, or like Simic, like something that just kind of ramps, plays Karn in it as like a value creature, but that can go and get some of the bigger end of the Karn Wishboard. Could also be something that could be interesting too. We have to think Explorer is going to be kind of a nice brace in between Pioneer and Standard. So some of those Standard All-Star decks that were very, very powerful might be able to translate better in Explorer than they do in Pioneer. And something like that Simic Ramp deck that punished Standard for a long period of time could be something that's interesting with Hydroid Krasis and Wicked Wolves and things like that. That also could be something like a food-style deck. We don't have Oko, but we have some of the other powerful spells that were in that too. So it's possible a style of deck like that could be good too.
Yeah. So our 5th and final match was against Aetherworks Marvel.
Aetherworks Marvel.
Just another Karn hate deck. That once we got the Karn down and plussed it, it was pretty much game over.
Yeah, like I said when we were in the videos too, we played a little bit loose, where we could have really put like the extra screws by the next turn, minusing the Karn, getting a Pithing Needle, naming Aetherworks, and kind of having like double protection. Even if they dealt with the Karn or dealt with the Needle, we still had one or the other. But we wanted to kind of ramp out, try and get that combo together. We were able to at least demonstrate what this combo is and how it works. But yeah, Karn was just an all-star again there. Aetherworks Marvel is another one of those. Used to be a good deck in Standard. It never really got its legs underneath of it in Pioneer. I do think seeing Fabled the Mirror Breaker in it is an interesting card to put in there, and I do think maybe that could be something. But cool to see. But again, Karn was just way too much for that matchup.
Yeah, because I mean, in some world, our opponent Kiki Jiki copies an Ulamog and just really ruins our lives, right?
Well, no, that's it. I don't think it's necessarily for that flip side, because it can't copy legendary creatures. And
right.
Yeah, so like it can't copy any of those. It doesn't copy the Ugins. I don't think it's really in for the copying. I think what's nice is that what the Aetherworks Marvel deck struggles with is finding Aetherworks Marvel. And I think being able to get a 2/2 that ramps, being able to discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards, is something that that deck is maybe looking for. So I do think that it was kind of a cool play on it. I know that most of the Marvel decks were Teamer for that reason, being able to play a Glimmer of Genius, I think is the 2 mana, draw 2, make 2 energy. You were playing that, and that was kind of your card selection. Now being able to cut down your mana, play just straight Gruul with Fabled might be the better avenue. But that's definitely a deck that is, on the fringes of the meta game and maybe just needs some more work or, something printed into it that'll help it out.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the game we got to activate the combo in. Our opponent did not immediately scoop, so we got to do the loop twice and kind of demonstrate it. We talked about it then, so we won't repeat ourselves. But it's the pieces you need down are Karn, Kiora, Nykthos, right? Some amount of lands, obviously. Preferably some lands with Wolf Willow Haven attached to them. And you need some stuff down that gives you devotion to green. So you can keep untapping Nykthos with Kiora, generating infinite mana. You need so much stuff, but this is like an 8-card combo. You need a Kiora and a Karn either in the graveyard already or in your hand. So you can legend rule the ones that are down out and put them in the graveyard. So then when you cast the flip side of Pestilent Cauldron, you're bringing them back to your hand, casting them, legend ruling them out, and that's the loop, right?
Yeah.
Loop, open, closed, and then you gain 4 life every time you cast that Restorative Burst. And then finally, the last thing you do, I said I wasn't going to repeat myself, but I'm making sure I have this in my brain now. Finally, when you have gained enough life off of Restorative Burst, where the life you've gained that turn equals more than the amount of cards in your opponent's library, then you use Kiora to untap a black mana source, which is either Sylvan Caryatid or 1 Overgrown Tomb. And then you cast the front side of Pestilent Cauldron, spend 1 mana. You gotta make sure you have 1 mana left after all of this. Tap it. Each opponent in those cards equal the amount of life you gain this turn. The amount of life you gain this turn is more than their library. You mill them out. You pass the turn. They draw it and die.
Yeah.
We did it.
Again, it sounds so much more complicated than it really, really is. An important thing to note, if you want to shorthand the combo a little bit, I suggest in paper playing a Heart of Kirin in the sideboard, and then you need less pieces to do your combo. But that's just much more clicking on Magic Online. But Heart of Kirin can help. So Heart of Kirin, you can use loyalty from your planeswalkers to crew it. So you can consistently crew it and then kill your planeswalkers into the graveyard and then Restorative Burst, get those 2 back. So you don't need to have the multiples of them. You just need to have the Heart of Kirin, which the Karn can find. So you can do that, but it's a crap ton more clicking. And
so you have to crew it 7 times per Kiora.
So it's definitely not something you want to be doing in Magic Online. But it's something that you might want to do in paper if you're going to pick this up for your FNM this week, or a qualifier or anything else you got going on. You might want to just put the Heart of Kirin into the sideboard and shorthand the combo that way. But in MTGO, I do not recommend doing that. Like you said, it's a nice 12 clicks to kill both planeswalkers.
Yeah, yeah.
Bring them back and do it all over again.
Right. You have to do it every time.
every time. So it is not good on MTGO. Do not do it. Do not think. I'd rather have less pieces of the combo to do it. You'll time out probably every single time.
Yeah.
So it's definitely much more of a paper thing where, you know, you can just tell your opponent, I'm activating it 12 times. And they say like, yeah. And then, you know,
I'm
they go into
crewing this ship
yeah.
12
I'm crewing
times.
it 12 times. So that's another way that it can be done too.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. All right. I think that covers it. We'll probably have, I don't think our next Lead the Way video is going to be Explorer. It could be, but I don't think it's going to be. I think we'll probably have a different style of video next, and then come back to Lead the Way. I'm not being vague to keep everything a surprise. It's because I have no idea. But I think we should interrupt Lead the Way with something different next time, and then come back to this. So thanks for leading me through this again. This is our 5th episode.
It's our 5th one. Yeah, 5th one. You've successfully managed to sit with me for 5 videos, so kudos to you.
Yeah, 3 of them have been entire leagues.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. We're at 5 decks that I've never played before, and there's 100 more. So
we got a new set coming out. So
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, this is a deck that if I hadn't done this video, I never would have ever played. This is just not my. There's all these green mana pips. You know, I don't. I'm not used to looking at those.
That's the first problem. Too many green mana pips.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a good time. We went 4-1. Could have been maybe a 5-0 with a little bit less technical difficulties. Those technical difficulties continued into game 3 where I got to play, or match 3 where I got to play game 2 entirely on my own. But I had luckily learned enough from you to play some green creatures for the first time.
Happy to hear it. But my pleasure, like always. I enjoyed being here, and forward to our next video.
Yeah, I'll see you then. Thanks a lot, Karnage.